Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a medical reality that is honestly as fascinating as it is critical. We are going to break down exactly why feeling completely normal, going to work, eating your usual meals, and just going about your day might actually be the scariest part of having high blood sugar. It's this phenomenon called the silent erosion, and really understanding it, well, it could quite literally save your life or the life of someone you love. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the silent threat, how diabetes actually works, take a tour of the damage, look at emergencies and warning signs, and finally, wrap up with preventing the complications. All right, let's jump right into part one, the silent threat, or the danger you cannot feel. So, when we think of serious, life-altering illnesses, we usually expect them to come with, loud, unignorable symptoms. We expect pain, severe fatigue, or just something visibly wrong that forces us to finally go see a doctor. But think about this for a second. What is the real danger of diabetes? What if I told you the true threat is incredibly quiet? Yeah, the real danger is the damage you absolutely cannot feel. While you go about your daily routine feeling completely fine, chronically high blood sugar is acting like this slow, silent, corrosive force. It's gradually damaging blood vessels and nerves throughout your entire body. And because those blood vessels literally reach almost every single organ you have, the consequences are incredibly far-reaching. You really don't have to feel sick for diabetes to be causing serious harm. Moving on to section 2, how diabetes actually works. We like to call this part the key and the lock. Before we look at all that systemic damage, we need to understand exactly what is happening under the microscope when you eat. Whenever you eat carbohydrates, your digestive system breaks them down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream to be used as energy. But it can't just walk right into your cells. It needs a little help. That's where insulin comes in. Insulin is a hormone that helps your cells take glucose from the bloodstream for energy. Think of it as the crucial key that unlocks your cellular doors so they can absorb that glucose. Without it, the glucose just gets trapped, floating around in your bloodstream. Now, the mechanics kind of depend on the type of diabetes. In type 1, your immune system mistakenly attacks the insulin-producing cells in your pancreas, so the body simply stops making the key entirely. In type 2 diabetes, well, the pancreas might still make the key, but your cellular locks become resistant to it. Over time, the pancreas just struggles to keep up. But here's the thing. Whether your body stops making the key entirely or your cellular locks just get jammed up, the dangerous result is exactly the same. Way too much glucose is left stranded in your blood. Which brings us to section 3. A tour of the damage. Let's take a look at the invisible wrecking ball. Imagine your blood vessels as this enormous network of highways, delivering oxygen absolutely everywhere in your body. And right at the center of it all is your heart. High blood sugar, which is often combined with high blood pressure and abnormal cholesterol, damages and narrows these arteries. Over time, this drastically bumps up your risk for heart attacks and strokes. But here's the scariest part. Seriously. Diabetes can damage your nerves so severely that you might not even feel the traditional warning signs, like severe chest pain, during a cardiac event. The symptoms become completely masked. Moving down the highway, we hit your kidneys. Now, your kidneys filter about half a cup of blood every single minute, working nonstop using millions of tiny, delicate structures. Excess blood sugar acts like a slow-motion wrecking ball, tearing through this delicate filter system, causing diabetic kidney disease. And because this damage is entirely silent in its early stages, routine blood and urine tests are pretty much the only early alarms you have. By the time you actually start feeling swelling, fatigue, or nausea, man, the damage is already quite advanced. Well, let's travel up to your eyes. Your eyes contain incredibly fragile blood vessels. Chronically high blood sugar can essentially burst the blood vessels of the retina, which is known as diabetic retinopathy. At first, you probably won't notice a thing, but as those vessels continue to take damage, you're going to start experiencing blurred vision, floaters, dark spots, and potentially even permanent vision loss. Honestly, this proves exactly why you must never ever wait until your vision gets blurry to go get a dilated eye exam. As we travel out to your extremities, we encounter your nerves. Long-term high blood sugar attacks the nerves, primarily down in your legs and feet, causing diabetic neuropathy. It might start off as just a weird tingling or burning sensation, but eventually, it is literally like someone cut the wires to your body's alarm system. You lose feeling entirely. The sensory alarms are completely shut off. And that total loss of sensation makes your feet incredibly vulnerable. If you can't feel your feet, a simple everyday shoe blister or a tiny cut goes entirely unnoticed. Combine that hidden injury with the poor circulation caused by damaged blood vessels, and your body's healing process basically grinds to a halt. The wound becomes infected.
Left unchecked, severe tissue damage can spiral totally out of control and eventually lead to amputation. This is exactly why doing daily foot checks is absolutely vital.
Okay, Section 4, Emergencies and Warning Signs. This is when the alarms actually ring.
So now that we've seen the gradual, silent erosion, we really need to talk about the acute, loud emergencies that demand immediate, drop-everything medical attention. Very high blood sugar can trigger life-threatening metabolic crises. DKA, which happens more often in type 1, and HHS, which is more common in type 2, are extreme states. If you or someone you know starts showing extreme confusion, unusual and labored breathing, or severe dehydration and an inability to stay awake, do not wait. These are massive, blaring alarms that simply cannot be ignored.
Even outside of those extreme emergencies, your body might be sounding some more common warning alarms. Things like increased thirst, frequent urination, unexplained weight loss, persistent fatigue, blurry vision, and wounds that just will not heal. If your body is loudly presenting these symptoms, it is practically begging for medical follow-up. Please don't just brush them off as getting older or being tired from a long week at work.
Finally, Section 5, Preventing the Complications. It's time to talk about taking control. After looking at all that systemic damage, I know it is so easy to feel overwhelmed or just plain afraid. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. Having diabetes does not mean complications are inevitable. That might actually be the single most important takeaway of this entire explainer. You have the power to stop the invisible wrecking ball. You are not destined for organ damage. The strategy to protect yourself isn't some singular magical cure. It's a consistent checklist of small daily actions. Following your treatment plan, consistently monitoring your glucose, staying physically active, and eating balanced meals. Combine all of that with managing your blood pressure and getting your regular kidney, eye, and foot exams. Those repeated actions build an almost impenetrable shield for your organs. You really don't have to wait for loud symptoms to start taking your health seriously. Feeling normal does not necessarily mean your blood sugar is normal. Catching it early and managing it effectively dramatically changes the trajectory of your health. The numbers matter, monitoring matters, and medical follow-ups absolutely matter. As we wrap up this explainer on the silent erosion of high blood sugar, I want to leave you with a question to reflect on. What is one thing about diabetes you wish more people understood? Think about the hidden damage, the warning signs, and that incredible power of prevention we covered today. I strongly encourage you to share your answer, and even more importantly, share this knowledge with someone in your life who might need it. Because sometimes the most dangerous damage happens quietly, and awareness is our absolute best defense. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep learning.